Just went. Hello, everybody. I've got to get a transition now. Hope you like the new loading screen. Thanks to Ditter for doing that. I'm going to post a link to his company soon. He does some behind the scenes work here and is going to do some, what's the word I'm looking for? Director, kind of stuff helping me edit and put together some videos. What up, peeps? How was y'all's day? We'll kick this show off. And then I'll post really quick that we're going live, and then post it there, post here, and then we'll kick this puppy off. All right, Monday. Welcome to good. I'm glad you had a solid day. Welcome to February 7th. You know, decent day. I missed the very early morning, so we'll talk a little bit about that. What I did this day, we're going to talk a little bit about perspective, a little bit about the market, and some things that are coming up. So, you know, we'll see where the show goes. You never know with me. Welcome to the swamp. I'm Gator. Let's talk about the market. Hello, hello, hello. I'm glad you had a good day, CT. Did you get back on after the initial when you dropped off? Ugh, 45 to 50 degree temps. Nice. It was actually decent where I'm at. It wasn't raining. It is a little funky for sure. Market's definitely a little funky. I'm learning to trade it better though. And you know what's interesting in how I've gotten better is I've actually gotten better by trading less. So on one of the shows, I think CT and I said that we do like 100 plus to 200 share or not shares, trades like a day. And some of that's just in 2 hours of the day, especially when there's a trending market. Like I would easily do that. And now I'm doing like 25, 50. Like I'm cutting down. Now I have a few more in there that are like test trades and stuff. Like I'm trying to find contracts. I'm like buying and selling to see if I'm getting good fills, and I'm doing some other stuff. But I'm taking it easy, and that's what's been helping me stay consistent. Well, that, but like in a market when it's like this, especially once you kind of set at that midday trend, like if I was taking, front runs and trying to catch every like 1 minute breakout and looking at these short time frames, I would just get I pretty much get back my day. It is, but how do you feel? Like I feel good sitting there and catching a few good trades. Like I feel like I'm winning when I'm doing that. Like I feel like I'm actually trading well. I don't feel like I need to take more trades. And the fact that I got paid like today and a day last week and a couple of times, like I've gotten paid what I actually would get paid sometimes taking like 50 to 100, being more selective in my trades and just scalping and taking a little bit of that. Like I'm not like, it's kind of helping cure the need to bend and take a ton of names, because it's so easy to forget, how much you can make, or to think that, what made you successful is just like, scalping and scalping and scalping. But you can be very successful doing this, just finding your selection, taking, 25 under trades, 50 trades or whatever, and you could do just fine. There you go, Peacock, yeah. Like I'm not gonna say I had no stress, but I came in after I took my mom to the airport, and then I came in. I missed the early Tesla move, which could be something that's very this has been my name. I don't want this name to split. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not gonna trade that's made me so much money. Like I missed this fun move in Tesla, which is completely fine. I don't mind. This is like, so for those of you who are new here or want to know what like C strategies are, I'm about to show you. I agree. I couldn't agree more, CT. Like this is like textbook working. These are like textbook strategies here. It goes up. This is the 2-minute high here. So you can see this. Let's just draw a line. Horizontal line, 2-minute high. Y'all can see that line. So in order for a C strategy to take into effect, it needs to be above the first 2-minute high. So that's the first 2-minute high. You have it going. Tesla breaks out above the first 2-minute high and then busts up here with volume. I have no idea if anybody caught this, if there was a reason it went up. Like I have no idea. I wasn't here. You get a pop down. This is a Mark 1. It didn't even one and done. It was just like a textbook Mark 1. So you could sit here, you could catch this move. Like it bust up. That's a boom, textbook Mark 1. Little bit of follow through. And then it looks like it just chopped. So it looks like you could have caught like a little bit there, maybe a little bit here. Especially on this increasing. That's a textbook Mark 1 there. I don't know if anything else happened, but $3, yeah. So you caught 3 points on this. It's like so for guys who are wondering like, oh, how do you know like when something's good, or like when to go to it? Well, I have this happening, and then I wasn't here, but it busts up, and then like me generally speaking, I probably would have looked to play it here. Honestly, like if I'm being true, it's above the first 2-minute high. If I go to the 2-minute chart, I don't know what I'm doing there. Sorry, I have it up here actually. I go to the 2-minute chart. Yeah, it was a red candle at the top of the high right there. So this was a red candle. So as it was breaking, I probably would have bought here for a break of day highs. 100% chance I take this Mark 1, and then 100% chance I take this. I probably trade this, and then I probably lose once or twice in here. I definitely take this and make a little bit. And then when it doesn't break out and it goes down, I'm done with it until it hits a 21. I may or may not win here, and then it goes down and I'm done with it. That would be like 100% of the time how I would trade this name. I didn't. And then I came back. But it looks like there was definitely some money to be made here, and then there was probably a lot of money to be given back later in the day when things got a little bit choppy. I haven't done a video where I reviewed some of my trades in a while, and it's actually because I just haven't been trading that much, and I've been so busy with the house. So I'm working on getting our house ready to sell. The wife was out of town. I've been taking stuff like to and from my property to another one. Cleaning the house out. I've got a show, somebody coming here to help me, what's it called, like stage the house for the showing and all that stuff. So really busy right now. So I haven't had time to go back and like look at my trades to review, but I'll try to do a review trade. I might actually just record a video tomorrow offline, or do a quick 30-minute, like first 30 minutes of the day review stuff, because I know people like to see how I trade and how I'm making money and stuff like that, and not for the sake of like actually seeing me trade or seeing what I make, but just to understand like where I enter and stuff. And I got a few requests for that, so I'm going to do a couple of those on these evening shows soon. Not tonight, because what I did today was basically Google trade, and if you want to know how I trade Google, you saying? Yeah. For Google, if you want to know what I did and how I trade that name, just go back and watch the video I did on it where I talk about Google. I played that one today, and I played Amazon and Google at the end of the day when the market was tanking. I just bought puts, and I was like, okay. And I wrote them down, and had a pretty good day, holding a runner, and that was mostly it. Like, so I don't have a lot to show, and I don't think it would be a great benefit just showing a big P&L today or anything like that, so I'm not going to, just because I don't think it would actually help anybody. And there wasn't anything specific on like front runs. It was just, the Qs failed to break out. It's like they're going up to a breakout level, and Geronimo talked about this, and he talked about it intraday. He was like, I'm looking for the Qs to break out here. This level's important. They fail to break out. They start going down, and then they actually hit the pivot low, and then they actually break down there, and you're like, okay, so the market's going down. And then I basically just scalp Amazon short for the rest of the day, and Google for the rest of the 20 minutes of the day or whatever, and make most of my day then. But so that's why I'm not doing a show tonight. I don't think it would actually help anybody. You would just see, me hold puts, scalp a few and hold puts, and it doesn't take necessarily a lot of skill there. What I do want to talk about is perspective in a choppy market. So it's so easy to lose track of how blessed we are to have met Mark, to have been taught under him, and to be traders, or just to find strategies that work, the C strategies, simply Z effective strategies. These strategies work, and a lot of us now do this trading full time. To be a full-time trader in today's world, or to just know how to make a side hustle doing this to make money, you don't really know how blessed you are, or you forget how blessed you are. And you lose perspective of what we actually do and how much we actually make compared to the rest of the working world. Because it's very easy for me to get on here and say, let me see something. Let me Google a breakdown. Let's see. Of what different people make. This is like 2019. So we've shown a chart in the past of how much it takes to actually make money on an annual thing. And Curbster, if you're in here, or I'll go back and find it, can you post the one with the correct spelling in Discord, so I can actually save that one and quit using, the one with the messed up spelling? Or I'll message you tomorrow and ask for it. Or I guess I could do this myself. But y'all have seen this. $300 a day is $75,900 a year. Do you know what percentage of the U.S. population you're in if you can get on here and make $300 a day on top of another salary that you're doing? Like, what percentage of the population make over $75,000? How much skill do you have to have in the real, I say real world, what type of labor, how many hours of overtime, how much time away from your family, how much crap that you have to put up with, how much of everything else that goes into a lot of, I don't want to say normal jobs, but a lot of jobs where you're having to create value and have a skill set that's marketable and put up with the hierarchy of the ladder and all this other kind of, the corporate ladder or all this other kind of stuff just to get to a 6-figure contract. I know wages are going up and stuff and inflation and all this other stuff, but still, like, the percentage of Americans that make over $100,000 is not a lot. Like, it's really not a lot. If you can make $300 a day in here scalping, you will make more than the actual median average person in America. I think the average wage in America is like $56,000+ in the mid 50s from what I'm looking at and from what I see. Now, obviously, there's a lot of there are always more entry-level jobs and entry-level positions. So let's bump that up, and let's say that the average person who's been working at a job for 5 to 10 years, who has had some type of senior to mid-level management, probably makes between $75,000 and $100,000. $75,000 and $100,000 for what we do is less, after taxes, $500 a day. So if you can get on here and make $500 a day, you will be able to be making roughly what somebody who in the real world you have to have a 4-year degree, been at a job for 5 to 7 years, unless you're some type of specific doctor or something like that, or some type of very specific thing. You can't just walk into a job and make $500 a day. Yeah, that's pretty much how much you're making. Yeah. And the commute and the time away from everything. I can sit down here in this chair every day, and if you said, hey, make $500 a day, I guarantee you, if that was my only goal, probably 95% of the days, because I would size down and all this other stuff and be patient, and I would literally just take 1 or 2 strategies, like 1 or 2 green takes reds with 5 to 10 contracts. Yeah, literally, Peacock. If you make $300 a day, if you take the first 2-minute on an inclining 21 EMA on the 2-minute chart, the first time a name has gone up and come down and hits it, when that is inclining and it freaking hits that 21, and then you take the next green bar that takes out a red 2-minute bar, you can make, if you just sit there and do that, you can make that $500 every freaking day. If you just wait for a trending name and take the first Mark 5, the first 5-minute bar, there's a 5-minute high, and then there's a 5-minute bar that closes below the last 5-minute high, and you take the next 5-minute breakout, assuming the market's not tanking or something, you can make $500. It's easy. Once you kind of get in here and do this, it is so easy to make this amount of money. But how many guys are coming in here and gals and whatever, and I blow $500 when I'm trading without thinking about it. It doesn't mean anything to me to lose $500. I consider it a win if I lose $500. But all I have to do is sit down here and scalp a little, when we lose perspective how much this is over the course of a year, and how blessed you are to be able to sit down once you learn these strategies and take a few smart trades and lock it in. You don't have to go to Instagram and post 50, 60, whatever you make, all the people that do this stuff that post massive P&Ls, and I don't know if people in this room have done it. I don't follow any traders or anything on my Instagram. I don't keep up with any of that. But the people that are just searching for that reward or whatever, do you not know When you're used to making that, and then you come down, and let's say you have a $300 day, or a $1,000 day, or a $1,500 day, or you feel like maybe a failure because you're not hitting 5,000 plus on the day, or 10,000 plus, or $1,500 plus, whatever your average is. It's like, please get a perspective on what you would have to do in the quote unquote real world to sit down at your computer for 30 minutes to an hour a day or whatever and take a trade where you could pull $1,000 a day. Like, if you said, hey, go make $1,000 a day, I could do that every single day. You know why I have losing days is because I try to make more than that. Sometimes it's because the market's bad and sizing and stuff, but realistically, like in my head and stuff, it's because I'm actually like my size and everything is geared. Like it's rare that I'm up $1,000 a day. Like the days I'm not up $1,000 a day, a year is probably close to zero. You can probably count them on one hand because at one point or another, I'm almost always green, and it's almost always within $1,000 or more dollars. And I'm not bragging. That's just a fact. The C strategies are so easy. Like I could make $1,000, but I want that, and we want that kind of instant gratification of 5-figure days, or having the account that's over $1 million right now. And we really lose perspective of how important it is and how much work you would have to do in the real world to make or lose the money you're making. I've lost in a day what my wife makes in a year. And I've made it too, but and it's so easy to completely and utterly lose perspective on what you're doing and how blessed you are to do this. So if you're one of the people that are in here and that make money consistently, and you are just having a hard time, and yes, there's going to be times in the market when Tesla and Amazon and these names are just rocketing, and you're buying them, and it's next to impossible to freaking lose. Because you're just buying them and it's going up, and every setup is working, and you're just slamming it, and you're just printing money left and right. But guess what? When the market sizes down and it's hard to make $1,000, $2,000 a day, you're not a failure. You're not losing. You're doing better than 99% of the country. I think, let's see, what percent, I'm just going to throw this into the Googles, or you can use some other search engine, but, what percent of the U.S. make over, what number y'all want me to throw? I'll say 500,000 a year, because that's 2,000 a day. Do most of the good traders or consistent traders think they can make $2,000 a day no matter what? Like if I said, yo, could you do that? So if you can make $2,000 a day doing this, that's probably not a reliable source. What about this one? Trying to find a decent source. Top 5. Well, that's just household income. That's not. Sorry, I'm trying to find like an actual, not just like a site talking about a site, but like a study. I should go to one of those. Bloomberg. Top 1%. Top 1%, according to Bloomberg. If you make $500,000 a year, you are in the top 1% of the country. So when people are like, the 1% is ruining us all, and they don't pay taxes. No taxes. You need to tax the rich, the 1%. Well, if you're one of the idiots that think that, and you come in here and you make, and I could care less if I offend you, and you make $2,000 a day, you're going to pay taxes on it, unless you're smart enough to move to Puerto Rico, and you're going to be able to make $500,000 a year, and be in the 1% of Americans. That's literally all it takes. And freaking successful traders in this room and in this Discord could make that almost daily blindfolded. But they give it the freak up. Because they get up 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and they start tilting, and they start sizing up. and they start not realizing the market. You catch that Tesla move like Peacock said he did for like 3 points. 3 points on what, you catch 3 points, a little over 3 grand, probably 10 contracts or more. I don't know how many you took on that, but, my guess is with, how you trade is that you probably took 3, so you probably made 3 or 4 grand there. If you take something like that, you just wait for a name to trend. You wait for the first green takes red, the first 5-minute breakout. You catch a few of those a day. You wait for a flush like at the end of the day, and you can make over 2 grand a day or around 2 grand a day. You're in the top 1% of the country, baby. Boom. Now you can't be a socialist anymore. Sorry. I'm sorry. Well, you probably can. I think in that range you don't like socialism, and then when you get to like, when you have to feel bad for how much money you make, that's when you begin to like socialism. When you have so much money that you feel bad for it and guilty because you're probably a bad person, that's when you start. I don't know. But all that being said, like, and cut that in half, $1,000 a day, $250,000 a year. How many of you, like, how many of you could live off that? Honestly, how much does a doctor make with a, how much does a surgeon make? Let's see. What is the average doctor salary? Well, that's just in this state. $150,000 a year. Average doctor salary. This one says on average in the United States, $237,000 in 2018. I hope you could get by with $500,000. $300,000. So 8 years of school, medical school, having to memorize all this crazy stuff, deal with liability, have all these student loan debts, all this crap that you have to have, and you need all that to make, $300,000 a year. Plastic surgeons, maybe $500,000 a year. Depending on brain surgeons, a little bit more. Like, I'm just looking at a list of what different people make. Go Google the stuff. See what you'd have to make $2,000 a day. And then come in here and complain and be like, oh, oh, this stinks. I hate this stupid job. I can't freaking make $1,000. I can't make more than $1,000. I was up, whatever. Like, or if you really want to be successful at this job and the market's choppy and we're not in a clear, like, I mean, look at all these charts on the daily. Look where the moving averages are. On the daily on these stupid things. Look at this base here in Tesla. Look where the moving averages are at. The 8's below the 21. It's obviously not a bullish market right now. Like, yeah, there's moves to be made. Look at the Qs. You got an inside day, all this stuff. Like, look at this. 8's below the 21. Market's kind of weak in a downtrend. SPY's kind of the same thing. Like, it's a choppy day. You had an inside day and an inside day and an inside week. And, you're down here, you're consolidating some. And you're consolidating. It's not like it's a surprise when you log on in the middle of the day and you come in here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you give back 70% of your day and you're pissed off because you traded in this range in Tesla when the stock was moving like $1 a minute or something like that with random pops and you couldn't make money. Or you're trading when what are the Qs doing? Why can't I make money? Why is the market so choppy? I don't know. It's not like it went sideways from 115 to 246. So for an hour and a half, I decided to sit there and give up all my account. I was up $2 grand in the morning. Okay, log the heck off and lock in $500,000 a year. That's all you have to do. You don't have to be flashy and compete with other people online, posting all the crap that they say they make. And, well, I make this and I had this, I caught this Amazon move and I had the FOMO and you get the FOMO because you're watching them and how to catch an $80,000 move, a $70,000, how to make this every single day. Like, pay for my whatever or, all this other crap. You don't need all that. You can be in the top 1% of the country if you log on here and you just trade the stupid 2-minute chart and you find a name that's working, that's kind of trending in a direction, and you take a few 2-minute breakouts. You could probably do it just trading the Qs, to be honest with you, but, since we all trade Tesla and everyone loves Tesla, that is Tesla. You know, I guess it was going down today after this. You took the first, you took the first green takes red right here. You know, you make money. Delete this line. You know, you take the first green takes red, which is actually here. You probably make money. You make money. You could be done. Wait for the first time it hits the 21, and then take the next green bar that takes out the, there's the next green bar after it hit the 21, I think. Or no, it'll be right here. You catch this pop and sell quickly. There's plenty of times where if that's all you had to do, is like if you came here and you sat down every morning and you're like, I'm just going to take a few smart trades. Yeah. And you just want to sit here and take a few smart trades. Just even small size, like wait for some movement in the market. Don't trade the midday chop. Wait for, like Geronimo said, just trade the last 30 minutes of the day almost. It's like let all the consolidation and the crap happen. Failed breakout. Obviously didn't stay above the open. And boom, make your money there and you're done. Wait for something. You don't have to sit there and trade all day. You don't have to add to your P&L if you're up $2,000, $3,000, $500, $200, $300. Let's say you're a newer trader, and I'm talking to people that are mid and up range in here. But let's say that you're one of the people that are one of the smaller, things, and you're doing good to make $300 a day or something. And you're like, man, but these other guys are making 1,000. These guys are making this. All right, keep perspective. Like you're new, you're learning to it. Hey, you made $300 a day. No, by the end of the month, you're not going to have a six-figure account. But I tell you what, you keep doing that, you make $300 a day, it's $75,000 a year, but you're going to hit $25,000 way before then, especially if you're below PDT. And you can add that to your, then you'll be able to trade a lot more. You'll get more consistent. You'll have a little bit more of a cushion. Might be able to size up. That 300 will turn into a 500. That's just what you can make with that. Seriously. Keep perspective in a choppy market of how good you have it. If the market's consolidating and you can't get on and trade all day and make money, boo freaking who. You're still better than most of the country when it comes to what you make, what you can make doing this. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you could only make $1,000 today. Wah. Cry me a river. Go cry me a river into your $1,000. Most people couldn't dream of that. Honestly. Most of the country will never see $1,000 work day. I showed up to work and I made $1,000. There's some. And there's definitely some professions and some stuff like that. But for the most part, it's not going to happen. And you're not happy with it. And sometimes I'm not happy with it. I'm talking to myself. I'm not always happy with it. $1,000. I just keep going. What about if you're up 10 grand and then you go back down to 1,000 and you just can't shake it? Perspective. No, you're not gonna. No, your overall account's not gonna look better in the course of massively different from the last day when you're used to pulling things going up by tens and multiples of 5 and 10 or additions of 5 and 10. But what's it gonna be? What's it gonna do to your 7 day? I bet it's going to be more consistent. Yeah, I bet it's better than being down 5K. I bet that $1,000 green does a lot better for your P&L than down 5K. Which then tomorrow you have to make 6K back just to be where you were then. Which is what you think about when you get down. And then you try to make 6K the next day, which might not be a day when it's easy to make 6K. And then bam, now you're down probably another 6K or more or 12 because you're just toxic. Move the numbers down. What if you only make generally $500 or $300 a day and you're having a hard time, making more than that, and then you go down to $50 a day? Move the math, scale the math to who you are. There's nothing wrong with a $500 green day. That's over $100,000. After taxes, it's probably around $100,000, so we'll just say 100. But $500 a day, just straight cash, $126,000 a year. And most of the people in here throw that away. Yeah, your mental sanity. I'd rather have $1,000, $1,000 green day than a $5,000 red day, or $10,000. Keep perspective in a choppy market. If it's the middle of the day and you can't find anything, sit the frick on your hands. Just sit down. Just wait for something to set up. If you're in the Newsbeat live room, listen, watch, see what Geronimo is talking about. See if somebody else is in here calling stuff out. I'm not going to be around as much in the middle of the days and stuff. I know just because of all the crap I'm doing, getting ready to move and sell the house. But if you're here, I don't mind hopping on the mic. If you have questions, I can ask, and I can share my screen and do some live trades and stuff like that if there's something I'm doing. I don't mind showing guys stuff like that. But you've got to keep perspective. You really have to focus on the long term and not the short term. Like, I know you're getting taxed on the short term gains, but think about the long term gains of what you're doing, your mental health, your sanity, your consistency, what it can give you. And even if you're not there to where you're doing this full time, what it can give you next year. If you're just consistent for a year, where are you going to be a year from now? If I can just do $500 a day or $750 or $1,000 a day, do you think I can quit my job and do this full time next year? Freak yeah, I can. Okay, I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to focus on the long-term benefits of just being consistent and just smacking those little base hits and making what would put me in the top 1% of the country. Hopefully I'm not sure if my wife will get him. One of my kids are crying. They have been fussy early in the nights lately. I'll give him a second before I have to run out there. Thoughts? That's kind of just what I want to throw something, a little something out there is for tonight, is just how blessed you actually are to be doing this. What little you have to make. There's nobody to compete with. There's nobody bragging about their P&Ls in our room. You're not measuring on the, anywhere else, being like, yeah, I make this, getting, like, consistency is what wins the game. You don't have to do it all overnight. You don't have to post these massive numbers. You can just stay consistent. You can be in the top 1% of the country. What's going to keep you from getting there, I think, is chasing the highs. It's like that drug addict that's kind of chasing that next high and the next feeling and all that other stuff. Like we talked about on last Thursday's show. If you haven't watched last Thursday's show, I think it was a really good one. You should probably check it out, especially if you struggle some with tilting and other stuff like that. So, yeah, tear down, lock it in. I agree with Peacock. Like, if you nail something and you're like, pick a number, $400 up or $4,000 up, I don't care. And you pick or $40 up if that's what's a big day for you. Size down if you can. Like, if you catch a move early or a few moves and you're up $4,000, $4,000 is in that $1 million a year range. Like, unless there's some massive trend going that you're in the middle of playing, use CT's 3 strike rule. Yeah, you're up $4,000 or $5,000. Size down, cut your contracts in half. That's $1 million a year. Why are you risking that? Why are you risking $1 million a year? Why are you risking $1 million a year? What, for your pride? For, your ego? Something telling you got to make more? You do know that if you just walk away from your computer after trading for 30 minutes and make $5,000, you're going to be okay. Is your ego telling you got to make more? You trying to hit, like, what are you trying to do? How about you just build it up? How about you just stay consistent? Train yourself to be right. Train yourself to win. So you get 3 strikes after that, after you get up, size down, so you can't give it back, all in 1 or 2 trades. You keep winning, good, you add to it. And then you're up, $8,000 or $800, whatever. Put the zero where you want it. $8, I don't care. Okay. And then you're like, man, if I wouldn't have sized up, I would have been up 16 or 15. And yeah, and it might not have worked. And then you would have gone down to 0, and then you would have tilted and just tried to get it back. And then you would have lost, and then you would have lost, and then you would have lost, and then you would have been red. And there goes your $1 million, in a sense. And now you're just hoping that you get another move. Yeah. How many times have we had, like, it's like $299, 2,900, like right at 3,000. Like, man, I just got to do one more trade. You got any more of those, like, dollars? So, perspective, guys. Even in a choppy market, I guarantee you, most of you, if you trade smart, you sit down, you wait for a trend, most of you can do $2,000 a day, who are the consistent traders. And if you're below that, then most of you can do $200 a day or $300 a day, $1,000 a day. Most of you can do that. If you look at your P&L after you've been red and you look back over a week or two and you're like, son of a gun, I was up like $1,000 or $500 at least once every single day, and I kept trying to go. You know what I do? I look at it and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make that and log off for a week. And I'm not joking, that's what I do. It's like, well, I know I can get up 2 grand, so I'm just going to trade, and if I'm green, I'm done. And I just come in and I trade. I'm like, okay, I'm done. And all my contracts go down to one size. You know, I might stay on the mic to talk or something, but that's it. Like, I'm not telling y'all to do something I don't do. That's how I fix myself. You don't have to. You can do what you want to. You can keep tilting. You can keep getting pissed off that, you know, you only made 4 grand or 2 grand, and oh my word, you only made $500,000 a year. If you just come in here and do that, I'm so sorry. So sorry for you. I feel so bad. So bad for you that you didn't have to spend 8 years in college. And, you know, actually some of y'all probably paid a bigger price than that with the amount of blowouts that people have to learn how to trade. But, you know, realistically, you can come in here and sit down and make a living working 30 minutes a day. Make $500,000 plus a year. Most people that do this in this room consistently and they learn the C strategies can do that. Easy. $300 a day. If you told me all I had to do to make $300, $500, $1,000 a day. Once I move to Georgia and get set up and I'm on past like all the stress of this, I'm going to do a 5,000 account challenge. I've talked about it before. Stuff just keeps coming up. But once I get down there after the summer, I'm going to do that to kind of help guys with smaller accounts kind of get there. Or they just get to see me blow out. I don't know. But just to show what even you could do with that over the course of a year if you just 1 or 2 good trades. I'm just going to sit there and wait. I'm going to take 1 or 2 good trades and just lock it in every day and just show how quickly you can turn that into a $25,000 account. So just things to think about. Just want to throw some of that out there tonight. You know, it was a rough week last week for a lot of people. It was a hard... yeah, in the tree stand. Exactly. It's like, I'm going to show you how good I could trade. It's like I got a bow in one hand, a laptop over here to the side. It's like deer over there, but I got to execute this Tesla trade. There you go, Peacock. And now you paid that loan back. Graph, things will only get better. This market will only make you better if you practice good habits during this market. 1 mil while hunting. Dude, I would do that just for like the meme sake of it. Like Wi-Fi on my phone, like on my computer, do a trade, and then shoot a deer the same day just to be stupid. Because I feel like it would be funny. So Graph, the market will make you better if you actually learn during this time. The market will not make you better if you just slowly like eat away at your account and you don't actually take anything away from the hard days and what you do, and you just kind of like try to do the stuff that you want to do and you just force your way through it, and you kind of blow out, but you got enough to keep going or whatever it is, and then eventually you break out, and just because the market gets good again, you're just going to repeat the cycle and you're never going to learn. This market is making me a better trader. I am doing trades and style of trades based off stuff like Geronimo does and other people do like with intraday breaks and some other stuff that I didn't do before. And I'm learning to be more patient. Like I said at the beginning, and CT and some other people said, like, barely taking any trades. I'm doing what, like, you know, maybe I did 50 today. I doubt it. Maybe I did like 20 or something compared to usually 200, you know. So Fidelity will be mad because they're not getting like as much commissions from me. But yeah, I mean, it can make you better, but you actually have to grow during it. And instead of getting pissed off at what the market is, you need to be like, this is what it is. It's going through this cycle. What can I do to make a little bit? And maybe it's just finding a few good trades and a few momentum and a few names and then locking it in early. And if you learn to do that, you can be successful. Then you wait for the market to get high. You have your hot month or two where you print really big numbers. And then as soon as it kind of gets choppy and you have a few losing days, you just go back to this small size and you just learn to teach yourself to appreciate what a small day, quote unquote, small day is. And that's what I wanted to kind of share with you guys is that it's not a small day. Our small days, by the way, are bigger than most people's, you know, full jobs. Like, than some of the most successful people when it comes to like working a 9 to 5 or whatever job don't make what we do on what we consider a bad day. My flat days, what I consider flat for me, is better than 95% of the country. And I'm like, I didn't make that much today. That's how I look at it. And that's not a good thing. I'm not saying that's a good thing. Maybe I need to change my perspective some. So. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Well, not 5K. I'd say 25K. Or are you talking about 5K on the daily, Blademan? Like, if it's in your account overall, you kind of need, what's the word I'm looking for? To get over PDT. Yeah, December was money. Was it November that was money? Did I make a crap ton in November? I don't remember. It was a good month. Yeah, turn your platform off and you can't trade. All good ideas, guys. But don't lose perspective. Even a $500 day is a pretty good day. Don't be mad that you only made a certain amount when there are people out there who, would be elated and would absolutely make their year or their month if you said, here's $500 for a day. Don't lose perspective. You're not a failure, and it's not bad that you can only pull a little bit out of the market. The first week in January and the last week in January were money. The middle two were choppy. And honestly, February might be that way. I could see the market kind of going sideways for this week, maybe down a little bit, and then maybe we just get a massive rally in a few names and can make bank. Maybe, the last week of the month, if you just sit here and you trade smart, you throw together some $700 days, a few $1,200 days, one or two 2,000, some 300s, one red day mixed in there, some flat days, another maybe $5,000 day. You keep that 7-day average kind of going, and then all of a sudden, you get a good week, and then you're just bam, hitting it hard when the market gets good. It's rare, and I don't actually remember a month when I never had one good week out of the month. The problem was I blew out before that good week came, and you just never know when that's going to be for this type of strategy. So you just need to be consistent, and you need to be, you just need to be consistent when you're not getting there, and really realize what you guys have been given in these C strategies and in this community of traders who actually care and aren't, trying to compete with each other for what they make and all this other kind of stuff. So we try to be as toxic free as we can. Try to help out and teach and, share resources and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah, but yeah, if that's all you want to do, Blademan, I wouldn't. I would say get up to 25,000, unless you had a reason to take it out, and then stop. Like if you like need the capital or something to where you did that, yeah, sure. But I would rather get to 25,000, and then you never run out of the ability to trade. Like I don't want to have to only be able to take 4 or 5 trades a day. I mean, if that's where you're at in life or something, that's fine. But you need to get above PDT. There's no PDT in Canada, apparently, if you want to go up there. I do not have Discord open. Nobody say anything in there. Jess. Oh, you're talking about... I'm gonna have to read all this in Discord. Y'all are talking about getting them set up for Trader Sync. That's legit. I should start working with them too. So that's what I've got tonight, guys. Any thoughts? Any questions? Keep it in perspective. JR is planning on coming on Wednesday. I've got some questions for him. We're going to do like a little interview. Unless something happens, Lord willing, he'll be on here on Wednesday night. Same time, probably about 9 o'clock. We'll do a little bit of a talk and interview style show. If I have some trades to kind of highlight, I might highlight them. Maybe I can make a video tomorrow. I've got somebody coming by the house to help me kind of get everything set up. So for the showing and all that. James, send as soon as it's done. Oh, sweet, Jess. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start using TraderSync now, if it's not complicated. James, as soon as the video is done, ask a comment, what's the Discord link, and I will post the Discord link for you in that comment, and then you can join. So that's the plan for this week. I do have some other strategy videos and stuff that I've got like half finished, but like I said, guys, I'm very limited on time right now. I'm sorry the content hasn't getting pushed out as far as non-show stuff. I just don't have the time. I'm in the middle of trying to make sure that everything's good with this loan so I can get closed, and you know, all kinds of stuff. So, oh dudes, that is legit. Thank you guys for all you guys that have been working with TraderSync and got this stuff set up to where we can literally just update everything from timestamps, and you can do it on the same day. You just have to do it the same day, but you can export now. So if you're in Discord, I show you how to do that. No more excuses for me or the Fidelity people. That's freaking legit. You guys are awesome. So that's why I like to have a community, because I'm like kind of a procrastinator when it comes to some things. / lazy. I don't think lazy is the word, but I probably am. And I'm just like, yo, whatever, I'm not going to do it. And then like 5 minutes later, someone's like, yo, I did this and figured it out. I'm like, man, you're just feeding my procrastination because somebody else is going to do this. I could care less if the room explodes. I'm just trying to help the people that are here. I'm sure it will, but who cares? If people come, you know, we're about the same thing no matter how many people follow us and do what we do, you know. But I'm sure it will, and the whole purpose is just helping people trade and find success, and anybody can do it, relatively speaking. Yeah, man. Do it while everybody knows your name. And just think, we don't even do scammy guru stuff. What if I did scammy guru stuff? Should I do scammy guru stuff? Should I be posting scammy guru stuff to where I'm like doing really stupid things and being like trading in the wild, doing it while I'm hunting, all this other stuff? No scammy guru stuff for me. I'm not a guru. I don't know what I'm doing. I would say so. I'm down though. 37 people watching on a 10 o'clock on a Eastern Standard Time on a whatever Monday night. It's gone up for a while. It was like, 20 something, and now we usually get about 30 or 40 people watching and a crap ton of comments. Yeah, I appreciate it, Elizabeth. Yeah, definitely I think if you like it, help spread the word, and YouTube likes it, and they put it in more people's stuff. So if you have 37 people watching and everybody likes it, that really helps the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I do have I am wearing Lululemon shorts, so I could show my legs. I'll just start doing squats and flexing all the time in my videos. Do the thing where they do all that kind of stuff. Everything I wear is Lulu, by the way. I need to buy that stock so I can make money in it to short of hunting gear and all this stuff. If I'm laying around, I solely trade and Lululemon's men's wear. Because I do it, I go to jujitsu and I go work out. So it's like, why change? I just wear Lulu. Except for like obviously I wear my gi and stuff. Where's Lulu on the daily? The show is now degraded. So it's pulling down. You know what? Lulu's main customer was women. They're now doing a lot of stuff to men. And their men's activewear is legit. And it does not stink. Dude, I do like deadlift. It's like the most workout that I do is just deadlift. My last PR was about 450. 445 maybe. I haven't PR'd in a while though. I got to get back on it. Kids, I tell you. But either way, Lulu, if you want workout stuff that doesn't stink, like Lulu does not stink. It does not hold a stench like Under Armour and other stuff. Their men's shorts, super comfortable. Love all of their stuff. Their jackets, their shirts. I have too much of their stuff. Be that as it may, I have no idea, like stocks and earnings and stuff, but all the women are just buying their men. Like women that wear this stuff are just getting their men this stuff now. So I wouldn't be surprised if as their company starts focusing on men's wear, that this kind of becomes a lot more valuable. And if they ever get into the shoe, I don't know if they make shoes, but that industry and stuff, this company is pretty solid in my opinion. Not that I know anything about the company or the stock, and I'm not telling you to buy them. I would never do such a thing. Sweet. CT, you want to do a yoga show? I don't do yoga. I'll do a deadlift session or something. What's up, Martin? About to lock it up in here. Do meditation. Gators pre-market meditation. Hum, and then my two boys screaming like in your ear. So it's like relax, the relaxing noise of whatever, and then it'll just get blasted through with ah and all this other stuff. So that's my meditation pre-market. I'm gonna do a show on my pre-market routine, which I will laugh at all the people that are like, oh, I do all this and all this. I like walk the dog. I come back. I'm like playing with them. I'm like, oh crap, I got like 2 minutes. Did I make coffee? Oh yeah, okay. And then I just sit down and start trading. I would trade better, I think, if I had a better routine, but hey, you can't do that, so it is what it is. Y'all be killing it. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Got anything else? Any thoughts, questions, and such things before I wrap this puppy up? I appreciate everybody hanging out. Over 30 people hanging out on a Monday night. Means a lot. Leave a like. You can comment, share, all that kind of fun stuff if you want to. Get some sleep. Yo, Sufian, that's legit. I'll share that. Let me throw this up here. This is where Sufian's trading from. Look at that. Dude, I could look at that. I'm looking forward to showing you guys my house when I move there. It's not as pretty as that as far as a view, but it'd be pretty nice. Good night, guys. Night, Peacock. It's a good deal. Hey, get some sleep. Rest is important. We talked about this last week on Thursday's show for sure, Friday's show. Rest, hydrate, get your mind right. Come in tomorrow ready to go. Philip Stein sleep bracelet. If you don't know about those things are money. I've got one. I've got a couple of them. Sleep bracelets. Get your sleep, get your rest, prepare yourself for tomorrow. Wake up, relax. Who cares if the market's choppy? I don't care. You shouldn't care. You can find a good trade or two. Find a couple good trades. Make your money. If you're only up and the market's hard and you're having a hard time and you're up something and you gave back, but you know, oh, I'm only up $2,000. I'm only up $500. Perspective. Cry me a river. You only made $500 for working under an hour and you can go live your life or whatever. So sorry, guys. So obviously a little bit of sarcasm, but you know, is what it is. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's get better. Let's improve as a team. Let's stick together, and you know, we'll be all right. We'll survive this market. We'll keep pushing forward, and you know, better days are ahead. I'll see you guys tomorrow.